First, I just want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons for supporting the channel. I really, really appreciate it. I can't tell you how grateful I am for the support. RJ, Alex, Rachel, Shad, Madison, Bonnie, and Andy. Thank you guys so, so much. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Theo. Thanks so much for hanging out. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and maybe go ahead and leave a like on the video because it helps quite a bit. But I'm just going to do my July mid-month check-in. I did one in June, and I said that this would be kind of a monthly thing. What I think I'll do is, keep to the plan of having the end of month monthly wrap-ups being kind of just books. And then in the middle of the month, I'll do kind of a check-in, and that will include, personal stuff, life updates, channel maybe stats, anything exciting, any news that might be coming down the line for the channel itself. And then anything that's kind of off the books, movies, TV shows, games, whatever else I'm into at the time. So that's kind of the format I'll stick to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the July mid-month check-in. On a personal note, I'm super excited to share that it looks like my torn meniscus is kind of healed, and I ended up going back to jiu-jitsu about a week ago now, maybe more depending on when this video comes out. But about a week or so ago, I went back to my first class. I'm giving myself a little bit of time just to make sure that I'm good. I had a little bit of swelling, but not too much. And so now I think I'm pretty much in the clear to continue going back to jiu-jitsu. It's something that I've really missed. It's a bit of a passion, definitely a hobby of mine that I really enjoy. And I've met an amazing group of people over there, and it's become a little bit of a family at the gym for me. So I can't wait to continue to go back. It's the weekend right now, and I'm hoping to fit in a couple classes, and things are looking good. Also, work's been going okay. I have been really busy, but it kind of comes with the territory at my level and my job. It's better than the alternative. I'm very grateful and lucky to be in the position I'm in. And sometimes that comes with a little bit of extra work. So right now it's okay, but I'm trying to fit in as much reading as I can and enjoy the weather. The weather's turned really nice here in Vancouver. It's been quite hot. I have the AC on, which is kind of unusual. The weather's been making me want to go outside and enjoy the weather a little bit more. I do really enjoy fishing and hiking and that kind of stuff. And so I don't know, hopefully the weather stays like this and we get to go out and enjoy it a little bit. It's barbecue season. I recently kind of redid our deck and it's looking nice outside. So yeah, a couple barbecues are probably on the horizon, maybe a little bit of camping, and can't complain with the weather right now. All right, so on the channel side, first of all, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who's subscribed. I've seen a bit of an uptick recently. Again, we're almost at 500 subscribers. I think at last count, I'm about 480-ish. And so I'm very grateful for you guys for supporting and enjoying and just engaging with me in the comments. And again, to my patrons, thank you so much for supporting. And I hope I've expressed personally how grateful I am for you guys. Again, there's never any pressure to do any of that kind of stuff, but I really appreciate the support. And so with 500 subscribers kind of around the corner, I was thinking maybe you guys want to do a Q&A or an Ask Me Anything or kind of some sort of live event, to mark the milestone. It's nothing crazy, but it's something that I didn't really think would happen at all, much less this fast. So I thank you guys so much for the support. And if you guys want to do anything like that, maybe let me know in the comments and I can try and do that. I know Alex over at Tall Guy Reads, one of my Grimoire Discord buddies, is celebrating 1,000 subscribers. He hit that milestone super quick and we're all so excited for him. And I think he's going to do an Ask Me Anything, and I believe it's July 17th. I could be wrong about that. If I'm wrong, I'll put it up on the screen, but I believe it's July 17th. He'll be doing an AMA, and make sure pop by, show some support for him as well. So yeah, that's about it. I just want to say thank you guys for all the support. I might be looking to do maybe a reading sprint coming up here in the next little bit. I do have some book reviews coming, and that takes me to what I've been reading. I just finished Empire of Silence, which I'm so thankful to have finally, had a chance to read, and it was magnificent. It was amazing. There were a couple minor criticisms I had with it, but I can tell from what I've been told, it continues to get better. And we're in for a huge treat with Howling Dark, which is the sequel. So I can't wait for that. But overall, I give it a 4-star, probably warrants maybe a 4.5. I'll probably, when I do a review on that, I'll probably note that it's a 4.5 star because it was quite impressive. So on the review side, I'll probably have a review coming out for that. And I'll have a review coming out probably as soon as I finish up this book that I'm reading, which is Upgrade by Blake Crouch. I got this on release day. I made sure to start this as soon as I finished Empire of Silence. I'm breezing through it. I'm only about 20, 30 pages in, but I'm really enjoying it. It's typical Blake Crouch. As soon as I'm done this one, I'll probably do a review. And I was thinking, you guys maybe let me know what you think, but I was thinking to do a where you should start with Blake Crouch or why you should read Blake Crouch, because I've read, I think, 8 of his published works, including his novella Summer Frost. And this will, I think, be my 9th work by Blake Crouch. And he's become one of my favorite authors. And so I was thinking to do a little bit of a where you should start or why you should read, because there's a lot of different entry points, and each entry point, I think, is probably good for certain people or for certain reasons. So it depends kind of what you like and what level of commitment you want, and whether you're a sci-fi person or a fantasy person or a thriller person or a crime person. If you're into AI and science, this one's all about kind of, gene manipulation and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that video would be cool. If you guys are interested in something like that, or you think I should do that or not, whatever, let me know in the comments. I've also been reading Excalibur, which is the third book of the Warlord Chronicle. I'm about 2/3 of the way through with this one, and I'm loving it. This is another 5-star book, I can tell. Bernard Cornwell has become one of my favorite authors. Historical fiction, I realized, is something that I quite enjoy. And I think I'm going to go on a little bit of a kick with this, because I have a couple authors that I want to try, and I have a couple books that I purchased recently. I'll probably do a book haul now in the next couple days. But I have quite a few historical fiction reads on my radar that I really want to get done. So I think that the tail end of 2022 might consist of a lot more historical fiction than I thought. As soon as I'm finished those, I have to admit, I ended up blowing up my TBR a little bit. So if you go back and watch my TBR, I had a couple things planned. Excalibur was definitely on there. Empire of Silence was definitely on there. Upgrade, I actually missed. I knew it was coming out in July, and it's one that I wanted to pick up on release day. I haven't really read a whole lot of books on release day or around release day, so I really wanted to make sure that I picked up Upgrade right around the time that it came out, so that I could be part of the conversation, maybe put out a review, and just enjoy it with people as it came out. So I ended up rearranging my schedule a little bit to fit that in, and then I was talking to RJ and Baron and Alex, my Grimoire Discord buddies over there. If you haven't joined, there's a link in the description. We'd be happy to have you. So they were talking about maybe just saying, you know what, screw it, let's fit in Swan Song. We've been, by Robert McCammon, we've been, hearing so much hype. Everybody's been over the moon about this book. There's been some close friends of mine who've just read it that are saying, if you break your TBR for one book, like, this should be it. So we're all thinking like, well, why don't we just go ahead and fit this in? So I kind of got peer pressured. It's your guys' fault. I got peer pressured by Baron and RJ and Alex and everybody to fit in Swan Song. So I've rearranged my TBR a little bit. I fully lied to you guys in my TBR video, but you know what? It turns out I'm a little bit of a mood reader, and I think I can embrace that and I can accept that. So what I'll probably do going forward is maybe do a TBR/MBR, a to be read and a might be read, and then I can kind of rearrange stuff as I see fit. But that's probably what's going to be up next is Swan Song. I have the audiobook queued up. I also have the ebook. So that'll be my next read. As soon as I finish Upgrade in the next, I would say, day or two, I'm probably going to hop onto Swan Song and see how that goes. On the topic of TBRs, me and RJ and Baron and Alex all have something kind of exciting planned. So in August, you'll see something coming up that relates to our September TBRs. It's a bit of a fun way to tackle our September TBR. So you'll see something in August coming out for that. So stay tuned. That'll be kind of fun. That's kind of all I got for the book side. But in terms of other stuff and movies and games and TV and stuff, in June, I ended up seeing Top Gun Maverick. And I have to say, we watched the original Top Gun a day or two before going to see it. I can 100% say you don't have to see the original Top Gun to see this new movie, but if you do, it just makes it a little bit more special. You notice all the similarities, all the scenes, all the similar, shots that they've used, and the way that the movie kind of pays homage to the original is really quite special. So I would say, on its own, it's one of the best movies I've seen in the last decade. I would argue that it's probably one of the best sequels I've ever seen in my entire life. And if you haven't seen the original Top Gun, it's still probably one of the best movies you'll see this year. So go check it out if you haven't. I was really, really impressed and quite surprised. Like a military movie and fighter jets and all that kind of, that stuff doesn't always appeal to me. So I was pleasantly surprised that there was so much more to it. I actually ended up tearing up near the end of the movie. It was really, really emotional and just so action-packed. The music was incredible. The soundtrack was amazing. The cinematography, the color grading, just the way the whole thing looks and sounds and is put together is just so impressive. So go check it out. I had a blast watching that movie, and I think you'll enjoy it too. There's something in it for everyone. So we also saw Elvis not too long ago, and growing up, I listened to Elvis quite a bit. My parents really liked Elvis. It was on the radio an awful lot when my parents would listen to some, oldies stations and stuff like that. So I grew up with a lot of that music at home, and Elvis was definitely on the top of that list. My wife is a huge Elvis fan, probably more than me, but both together, we really enjoy Elvis. We grew up listening to Elvis. She grew up watching a lot of his movies, which I never did. I was more into the music, but we both really liked it. We thought Austin Butler did an exceptional job. There were some criticisms early on from people where they were saying like, oh, he doesn't really look like Elvis, or like I can't see him in that role or whatever. When you watch the movie, it's actually incredible. He sings in the movie. He's trained his voice. He sounds like him. He moves like him. He acts like him. Even just the little things that you notice if you're an Elvis fan or you know anything about Elvis, the smirk, the smile, the face, the hands, like he does everything. It's actually really, if Austin Butler doesn't win an Oscar for this movie, I'm never going to watch a movie again. I mean, his performance was incredible. It was a fun time. It was definitely emotional near the end, of course, given the kind of tragic story of Elvis, but it was a very good movie. And I think I would recommend people go and see it. If you're at all into the music or the story or whatever, it brings it to a new generation. Baz Luhrmann has a way of like introducing kind of modern music and kind of a more entertaining style. And so I think that this is approachable for people of a new generation to kind of get exposed to Elvis where maybe they don't know the story. And on Netflix, my wife and I were watching Man vs. Bee, which is quite funny. It has Rowan Atkinson, and it's basically about this innocent, naive guy who's maybe a little bit aloof, trying to do the right thing for his family, started a new job as a house sitter, and he gets trapped in the house with this bee. And the episodes are really short. They're like 10 to 12 minutes long. They're very funny. Classic Rowan Atkinson. If you're looking for something short to watch and you want a good laugh, I would recommend that. And if you want something a little bit more serious, a little bit more, if you like true crime, you should watch The Staircase. This is a true crime documentary about an author who was convicted. We don't know wrongly or not. It's kind of up in the air, but he was convicted of murdering his wife, who was found dead at the bottom of a staircase in their home under very odd circumstances. So go check that out. It was very intriguing. Go watch the first episode. If you're not hooked by the first episode, I would just call it, because as soon as you turn it on, you're going to want to know what happens. And it follows the story of this guy who's an author through this whole investigation and trial and retrial and all this stuff. And it follows him for a period of like, I think 10 to 15 years, kind of. So it's very, very interesting. And I would recommend checking that out too. So yeah, I've been watching some good stuff. I've been reading some good stuff. I've been enjoying my July. The weather's good. My knee is feeling better. I'm back to jujitsu. Work is work. And that's kind of it. So I wish you guys the best, rest of July. And I hope your reading is going okay so far. I have more videos coming. As usual, I'll catch you guys more in the comments. But for now, that's kind of all I got. And I will catch you guys on the next one.